Have you ever noticed that your mind feels like a restless storm? You try to rest, but your thoughts keep circling. You try to focus, but your attention drifts away into 1,000 different directions. At times it feels like you're trapped inside a maze of your own making, desperately searching for an exit that never seems to appear. This is what we call overthinking. It is subtle, invisible, and often overlooked, yet it quietly steals away the joy of living. It keeps you awake at night, replaying conversations that already ended. Makes you worry about things that haven't even happened yet. It pushes you to dissect every small detail of the present, till life itself feels overwhelming. Buddhism has a word for this kind of restless energy of the mind, a scattered consciousness. It is not the world that truly binds us, it is the chains of our own thoughts. The Buddha once said, "We are shaped by our thoughts. We become what we think." When the mind is pure, joy follows like a shadow that never leaves. This teaching points us to a powerful truth. The quality of our lives is not determined by what happens to us, but by the state of our own minds. Think about it. Two people can experience the same event, but one becomes crushed by fear while the other finds resilience and strength. The difference is not in the event itself, but in the way the mind receives it. Overthinking is the habit of receiving life with resistance, with fear, with endless questioning. And yet there is hope. The wisdom of Buddhism, passed down for over 2,500 years, offers us a way out. It offers not only a philosophy, but also a practice, a path to train the mind to release its endless chatter and rediscover its natural stillness. You don't need to be a monk living in a mountain temple to practice these teachings. You don't need to abandon your family, your career, or your responsibilities. What you need is simply the willingness to pause, to look within, and to learn a new way of relating to your thoughts. Imagine your mind as a river. If you try to dam it up, the water builds pressure and floods. If you jump in and struggle against the current, you exhaust yourself. But if you step back, sit by the riverbank, and watch the water flow, you realize it was never something to fight against. It was something to observe, to understand, and to let move naturally. Your thoughts are like that river. They don't have to drown you. They don't have to control you. When you change your relationship with them, you discover that peace has always been here, waiting quietly beneath the surface. And this is where the Buddha's teachings come alive. In this video, we will explore 6 timeless Buddhist teachings that can help you stop overthinking and find true inner peace. These teachings are not just ancient words. They are living practices that can transform how you experience every moment of your life. They remind us to return to the present moment instead of being trapped in the pull of regret and fear. Let go of what we cannot control so that life feels lighter. Simplify our lives and our thoughts, opening space for clarity. Recognize that we are not our thoughts, but the awareness observing them. Practice mindfulness through the breath, anchoring ourselves when the mind wanders. And finally, trust the truth of impermanence, knowing that no struggle lasts forever. Each of these teachings is like a lamp, guiding us through the fog of overthinking. And together, they create a path that leads us back to our true nature. A mind that is calm, clear, and at peace. But before we dive into these teachings, take a moment right now. Breathe in deeply, hold, and exhale slowly. Notice how even this single breath brings you back to the present. In this very moment, there is no past haunting you, no future demanding you. There is only now. If you can touch peace in one breath, imagine what is possible when you begin to live your entire life guided by these teachings. So let us begin this journey together. Let us explore how 6 simple yet profound lessons from Buddhism can free us from the prison of overthinking and guide us to rediscover the inner stillness that has always been within us. mastering the mind, returning to the present, and letting go of control there. It's a simple truth that most of us forget. The mind can be both our greatest teacher and our harshest prison. It has the power to bring us clarity and wisdom, but it also has the ability to trap us in endless cycles of worry and fear. The root of overthinking lies in one thing: we don't know how to master our own minds. The Buddha once said, "To conquer yourself is a greater victory than to conquer thousands." In battle, he who masters his mind is the true warrior. This means that freedom from overthinking does not come from controlling the outside world, but from learning how to return to the stillness within. The first step in this journey is learning to live in the present moment. Living in the present moment, we are alive, but we rarely truly live. Our bodies may be here, but our minds are usually elsewhere, lost in the shadows of the past or drifting toward an uncertain future in the past. We are trapped by regrets and the endless thought of what if. In the future, we are consumed by worry. What will happen? What if I fail? What if everything falls apart? And so, even while standing in this moment, we miss the only time we actually have, the now. The Buddha's words echo like a bell. Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. This is not just a philosophical idea, it is medicine for the restless heart. Imagine walking through a lush green garden. Birds are singing, flowers are blooming, and a soft breeze brushes against your skin. But if your mind is stuck in yesterday's mistakes or tomorrow's worries, you won't hear the birds. You won't notice the flowers, and you won't feel the breeze. You will have missed the very essence of life. There's a story from Zen tradition. A monk and his young disciple were crossing a river. The current was strong, and the disciple hesitated, filled with fear of being swept away. The teacher calmly said, "The river always flows, but the only way to cross is to place your trust in this very step. If you keep thinking about the waves, the danger, the possibilities, you will never move forward. Life is just like that river. It never stops flowing. And the only way to cross it peacefully is to place your trust in this moment step by step, breath by breath. Each time your mind spins into endless thought, pause. Take one deep breath. Return to the now. This is the beginning of true freedom. Letting go of what you cannot control. Living in the present moment is the first step. The next is releasing the illusion of control. So much of our overthinking comes from the belief that if we just think harder, worry longer, analyze deeper, we can somehow control the outcome. But life is full of things beyond our reach: the weather, the actions of others, the tides of change. The Buddha taught, "It is not what happens to us that causes suffering, but how we cling to it. Clinging is the root of pain. The more tightly we hold, the more tension we create." Imagine someone pushing a massive boulder up a mountain. They strain, they sweat, they pour every ounce of energy into it, but the boulder never moves. Exhausted, they collapse. A wise monk passes by and says gently, "Why do you struggle with what cannot be moved? Let go, and the path will clear." Is what overthinking does to us. We keep trying to push immovable boulders in our minds. We replay conversations that are long over. We obsess about events we cannot change. We fight with shadows, and in the end, only exhaust ourselves. Letting go does not mean giving up. It means accepting reality as it is, freeing ourselves from the chains of impossible control. One simple practice is to ask yourself, is this within my control? If yes, then act. If no, then release it. As if dropping a leaf into a river and watching it float away. Remember, letting go is not weakness. It is a profound strength. It takes courage to face reality as it is. wisdom to stop wasting energy on what was never ours to hold. When the present moment meets letting go of it. In the present moment and letting go of control are not separate, they complete each other. When you live fully in the present, you naturally let go of the weight of the future and the grip of the past. When you let go of control, your mind feels lighter, and being present becomes effortless. They are like two wings of a bird. Only when both wings spread wide can the bird soar freely, rising above the storms of overthinking. Mastering the mind does not mean eliminating all thoughts. It means you are no longer a prisoner of your thoughts. You become the one holding the reins, and that journey begins here, by returning to the present moment, and by letting go of what you cannot control. Finding peace through simplicity and right understanding, after learning how to return to the present and let go of the need for control. We now arrive at another doorway to inner peace, embracing simplicity and seeing our thoughts for what they truly are. In the modern world, happiness is often tied to big achievements, wealth, career, success, social recognition. We tell ourselves that once we have enough, once we prove ourselves, only then will peace arrive. And so we run faster and push harder, only to feel more empty, more restless, more caught in overthinking. Buddhism offers a counterintuitive truth. The more simple life becomes, the more spacious the heart feels. The less we cling to, the more peace we discover. Simplifying life, releasing to become light picture, a room overflowing with furniture, clothes, books, and objects piled. In every corner, no matter where you step, you bump into something. The air feels heavy. There is no space to breathe. Our minds often look just like that crowded room, filled with endless worries, expectations, shoulds, and musts. We carry too much. And in that clutter, peace cannot breathe. The Buddha once said, "There is no path to happiness. Happiness is the path." Happiness is not found at the end of a long chase. It is here, in the small, ordinary steps we take each day, if only we walk them with awareness. In Japanese Zen, there is a concept called shibumi, meaning the quiet beauty of simplicity. It is the elegance hidden within the ordinary. A warm cup of tea on a cold morning, a golden sunset after a long day, a genuine smile from a loved one. These simple things are profound if we are present enough to see them, yet the human mind resists simplicity. We are taught that more is better, our possessions, more goals, more recognition. But the truth is, the more we accumulate, the heavier our hearts become. Simplicity does not mean deprivation. It means knowing what is enough. The wisdom of enough is the greatest wealth. When you begin to release unnecessary desires, when you stop crowding your heart with what does not matter, life becomes lighter. And when life is lighter, the mind naturally quiets. You are not your thoughts. The second step toward peace is to transform the way we see our thoughts. Most of us live as if we are our thoughts. When the mind is full of worry, we believe, "I am weak." When the mind is full of anger, we believe, "I am a bad person." When the mind is full of doubt, we believe, "I am worthless." But Buddhism teaches a liberating truth. You are not your thoughts. Thoughts are like passing clouds across the vast sky of the mind. They appear, change shape, and dissolve. They are not fixed. They are not you. The Buddha once said, "With our thoughts we create the world." But we are not the thoughts themselves. We are the awareness observing them. This awareness is your true self, the sky that remains open and clear. Even when storm clouds pass through, try it for yourself. The next time a negative thought arises, don't fight it and don't embrace. It is truth. Simply notice it. This is just a thought. Then let it pass, the way a leaf drifts downstream on a river. Thoughts only have power when we cling to them. Without our attachment, they are harmless visitors. A Zen master once said, "Clouds move across the sky, but the sky is never held." By them, your mind is like that sky. No matter how many thoughts appear, your deeper nature remains vast and untouched. When you truly understand this, overthinking loses its grip. You stop drowning in thoughts because you realize you were never the thoughts to begin with. You were always the sky, wide and free. Peace through simplicity and right-seeing simplicity lightens the load of life. Seeing clearly that you are not your thoughts removes the illusion that binds you together. They create a path toward profound peace. Imagine carrying a heavy backpack filled with rocks. Each rock represents a worry, an expectation, a self-critical thought. Day after day you carry it, exhausted, barely moving forward. But each time you let go of one rock, the bag becomes lighter. Each time you release another, the road feels easier. Life is the same. Each time you simplify, each time you let go of false identification with your thoughts, you set yourself free. And with freedom comes a natural peace that no amount of achievement or possession could ever buy. Simplicity and right understanding are not luxuries. They are necessities. Without them, the mind will always be noisy, restless, trapped in overthinking. With them, the mind becomes like a clear lake, reflecting life as it is, calm, still, and beautiful. Practice for liberation, mindfulness, and trust in impermanence in the first two parts. We explored how to return to the present, let go of what cannot be controlled, embrace simplicity, and see our thoughts with clarity. But knowing these truths is not enough. Knowledge alone cannot free us from overthinking. Peace comes only when knowledge turns into practice. In Buddhism, there are two essential practices that bring the teachings to life: mindfulness through the breath and trust in impermanence. One anchors us in the here and now, the other gives us courage to face the constant changes of life. Together, they open the door to true liberation. Mindfulness, returning to the breath. The human mind is often compared to a restless monkey, what Buddhism calls monkey mind. It jumps from thought to thought, restless and noisy, never still. The solution is not to fight the monkey, but to observe it with calm awareness. This is the practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness means being fully present in this very moment, aware of what is happening, without judgment, without clinging, without pushing away. It does not require you to escape from the world. It can be practiced anywhere, at any time. The simplest and most powerful way to cultivate mindfulness is by returning to the breath. Breathe in deeply, knowing you are breathing in. Breathe out slowly, knowing you are breathing out. The Buddha once said, "When the mind is calm, the breath is calm. When the breath is calm, the mind is calm." Your breath and your mind are deeply connected. By calming one, you calm the other. Picture your thoughts as leaves floating on a river. If you reach out to grab each leaf, the water becomes disturbed and you create ripples. But if you simply sit by the riverbank watching, the leaves pass, the water remains still. This is mindfulness. You don't need to chase thoughts or push them away. You simply allow them to come and go, while gently returning to the anchor of your breath. Even a few minutes of mindful breathing each day can transform the mind. The noise softens, the storm quiets, and you begin to touch the natural stillness that was always there within you. Trust in impermanence. Every struggle will pass another deep. Cause of overthinking is the belief that our struggles will last forever. We believe fear will always control us. We believe pain will never leave. We believe confusion is permanent, But Buddhism points us to one of its most profound truths: permanence. Everything in life is in constant change. Joy changes, sorrow changes, success fades, failure fades. Nothing good or bad stays forever. The Buddha taught, all conditioned things are impermanent. Strive on with diligence. This is not a call to despair, but to freedom. When you realize that nothing lasts, you stop clinging. You stop fearing that suffering will trap you forever. Think of your own life. Situations that once felt unbearable eventually softened, transformed, or disappeared. Moments of heartbreak that seemed endless are now distant memories. What felt like a prison yesterday may now be a closed chapter. Just as winter eventually gives way to spring, your current struggles too will pass. When you truly trust in impermanence, you no longer fear change. You walk with it. You no longer resist the flow, you flow with it. And in that acceptance, your heart finds peace. When mindfulness meets impermanence, mindfulness and impermanence are two sides of the same coin. Mindfulness is the anchor. It roots you in the present moment. No matter how turbulent the mind becomes, impermanence is the guiding light. It reminds you that no storm is eternal, that every cloud eventually drifts away. Together, they free you. Mindfulness teaches you to stop clinging to every passing thought. Impermanence teaches you to stop fearing that what troubles you now will trouble you forever. You don't need a grand transformation to end overthinking. Just a few mindful breaths each day. Just a gentle reminder of impermanence when fear takes hold. Step by step, these practices reshape the way you live, connecting with reality. Try it now. Inhale and feel the breath fill your lungs. Exhale and let go of the tension you are carrying. Softly remind yourself, this moment is enough. This struggle will pass. With that, you touch the essence of the Buddha's teaching. Peace is not somewhere far away. It is here in the breath and the flow of life. In the understanding that everything changes. This is the heart of liberation. Not escaping life, but living fully in it with awareness and trust. Overthinking is not an enemy outside of us. It is a habit of the mind, a subtle storm that quietly grows within. It pulls us into cycles of worry, fear, and doubt. And the more we try to fight it, the more it seems to consume us. But the 6 Buddhist teachings we have explored together are like lamps guiding us out of the fog. Return to the present moment, so you are no longer trapped by the past or dragged into the future. Let go of what you cannot control, so the heart can feel light and free. Simplify your life, so you can release the burden of excess and create space for peace. Recognize that you are not your thoughts, so you stop identifying with the storm in your mind. Practice mindfulness through the breath, so you always have an anchor in the present. And finally, trust in impermanence, knowing that no struggle lasts forever. These are not distant philosophies. They are small, practical steps, simple enough to apply in daily life, yet powerful enough to transform the way we experience the world. Peace is not far away. We often search for peace outside ourselves, in achievements, in wealth, in relationships, or in a future that we imagine will finally make everything right. But Buddhism reminds us, peace has always been within you, here and now. Think about the moments when you've accidentally touched peace, drinking a warm cup of tea in silence, watching a flower bloom, listening to the gentle song of a bird. At sunrise, in those moments, you weren't chasing the past or fearing the future. You were simply present. And in that presence, peace appeared naturally. The key is not to wait for such moments to come by accident, but to cultivate them consciously through the 6 teachings we've explored. Peace is a journey, not a destination. Many people believe, I'll be at peace when I finish this project. I'll be at peace when I earn enough. I'll be at peace when others finally change. But the truth is, if peace always lives in the future, you will never find it. The Buddha taught, there is no path to happiness. Happiness is the path. In the same way, peace is not the final prize at the end of the road. Peace is how you walk the road. You are not peaceful because life has no storms. You are peaceful because you've learned how to walk through storms. With a calm heart, you're not peaceful because thoughts disappear. You are peaceful because you know thoughts are clouds. You are the sky. Practice each day. Remember, transformation does not happen overnight. You cannot expect your mind to become still after hearing these words just once. But peace is like a seed. It needs watering every day. Each day, take a few mindful breaths. Each time worry arises, ask yourself, is this within my control? Each time fear overwhelms you, remind yourself, this too shall pass. These small practices, repeated again and again, build the foundation of a lasting inner peace. A final reminder: overthink will not vanish completely. The mind will always produce thoughts. But you don't need to be a prisoner of those thoughts. You can be the observer, the witness, the sky itself. And when you take that role, you realize peace is not something you must chase. It is already here. Peace does not depend on circumstances. It depends on how you meet them. Peace is not the absence of thought, but freedom in the presence of thought. Let these 6 Buddhist teachings become your companions. Don't just listen to them once and forget. Try them in your daily life, in your meals, in your walks, in your moments of difficulty, because peace is not found in a book, nor in a distant temple. Peace is found in each breath, each step, each moment you live with awareness. Closing take 1 minute now. Inhale deeply and recognize that you are alive. Exhale slowly and smile to yourself and whisper gently, I am enough in this moment. This is the essence of the Buddha's wisdom, returning you to the present, where overthinking has no home and where peace waits like a dear old friend. May you, on your journey, always find stillness in each breath, and may that stillness become the gentle light guiding you through your entire life.